an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soule and I am the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. We have done this radio program for a number of years because we believe in collaboration among all the various agencies and people and goodwill institutions in our fine community. And this is an opportunity for us to bring that information to you, particularly as we tend to listen more and read less. So today I'm thrilled that we're able to have two guests that I have invited multiple times, but our schedules never quite clicked. And so today I'm thrilled to have Cathy DeSchouwer. Thank you. I practiced and it didn't hold. And Antoine Jennings, both from Crossover Mission. And so we're going to talk a little bit about this great organization and what they do and how maybe you can be a part of it as a volunteer or as a supporter. So Antoine, how did this start?
Well, I guess it basically just started off of my life experiences and some of my shortcomings and getting into things, just making bad decisions, and it nearly cost me my life. And just reflecting back, I just realized that I blew off a lot of opportunities and people that tried to support me and give me guidance along the way because I was making excuses and just kind of feeling sorry for myself. And after the last experience that I had, I felt like it was a sign from God that it was an opportunity for me to do something different. And I had this idea that I wanted to start this program called Crossover Mission, and in that process is kind of where I met Cathy DeSchouwer, who decided to step in and help me get it started.
Ranks. Well, I have to say, having raised 5 boys, I immediately can connect with what you've said in terms of people trying to help, people trying to give suggestions, getting blown off. It really clicked with me, too. So, Cathy, you must have a similar story.
Yes, we started when our sons played recreation basketball together.
Okay.
And my son wanted Antoine Sr. to train him.
Ah.
And so he was very persistent, Louis is his name, and kept asking. It was about 2 years before I actually met Antoine and his wife. And, he agreed reluctantly to train Louis. And
I can't believe he has a reluctant bone in his body now. Well, maybe that.
Well, yeah, at the time, I honestly, I was just really uncomfortable dealing with white people. And even though I had this idea that I wanted to start this organization working with kids and using basketball as a tool, I didn't see myself as a coach or a trainer yet. So I was just working with my own son. So when Cathy had the idea, or her son had the idea, I just wasn't in that place, but it was really, my wife Fallon at the time that was really pushing me to kind of go ahead and get it started, and she helped, bridge that relationship, so to speak, and we hit the ground running, right?
It's amazing what 2 dedicated women can get done. Did I say that out loud? Anyways. Yeah, and I'm so pleased to hear that because I think many of us have struggled with preconceived notions regarding race over the years. And it is a big jump, a big challenge to get yourself out there because you could be very highly criticized by your, quote, friends.
Right.
Okay. And so good for you, Cathy.
well,
Persistence. And Louis.
Yeah, I credit him. He was very persistent. But when Antoine began training Louis, I was surprised because what he looked like on the outside wasn't what he was on the inside. The way he spoke and the way he trained my son was really very, very impressive. And
that old, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Yeah, I wonder how many race relations are based on that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you realize that you have fear of what you don't know and notions about what you see. For example, he had gold teeth on the top and the bottom. And, well, he looked like the NBA for sure. He's like 6'5", and he's very fit, very athletic. And, but he looked scary to me, kind of like a gangster. So my son didn't see that at all. He saw awesomeness, and so that's where it started. And as the training began, I wasn't going to leave my son, South County or Gifford Park or wherever. So I stayed and met Fallon more, and his daughter came. My daughters came. They played, and that's where it started. The conversation started, and then it was about a year in, right? Well, you want to tell it?
No, I mean, over that time, like I was just really, by Cathy being there, like a lot of the parents, we had about 4 kids at the time, and the other parents would always drop their kids off and leave, but Cathy would always stay, and she was polite, and I didn't want anything to do with her. I was always thinking, like, why do you talk so much? I don't want to be friends. Just drop the kids off and leave. But by her staying there, it made me realize that I had a bigger responsibility, and so I started drawing up plans and strategies and things for them to work out on at home, and trying to have some more measurable results or outcomes, if you will. And then started going to church, and my pastor took me on. He was my mentor, and so as I began to have this vision about this program, I tried to take my idea to him one day, and he just stops me right at the beginning of our conversation, and he says, "Don't tell me anything." He's like, read the book of Habakkuk, write the scripture, and make it plain. He was like, you're one person away from your dreams coming true. He's like, everything that you have in your mind, write it down. And so I walked out of that meeting, and I'm upset, and I'm telling Fallon, I'm like, I'm done with this church. I'm never coming back here. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. Like, what does he think? This is some type of movie or something?
Well, that's real and honest.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Read it and make it plain. But I went and bought a notebook, and I started writing down everything all the time. And so when I met Cathy and we started having a conversation, and one day she goes, "You're such an awesome coach. You're so in tune with my son and his strengths and weaknesses. Like, what else is there to you?" And I was thinking, like, maybe she's the one person. But then I decided at that time to not give my notebook or my idea, because she lived on the beach side. I'm like, she'll just take my idea and run away with it.
Oh,
and,
that again is very real.
Yeah, and so then over time, she let me take Louis to the Vero Beach High School basketball game, Holiday Hoopla. And after that, we met at the McDonald's, and we just stood up in there and talked, and shared my idea with her, my vision, and kind of my story. And she felt inclined to help me. And she always told me, she said, it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of administrative work. You're going to need to find your people. I really believe in the vision. It's like, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. I'll help you start it, but I don't want anything to do with it.
So, Cathy, I just have to ask. Sorry,
yeah,
hold that thought a minute. So, in your life before Antoine and Crossover Mission, did you have experience with fundraising or nonprofits? I mean,
None. Zero. Business, yes, but not nonprofit fundraising. No.
This was a new adventure for you too, then.
Completely new.
And how old were your boys at this time? At the
they were
beginning?
Like 7 and 8 when they first met, and then it was like 2 years later.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
no
they were
wonder
little.
you stayed. I mean, sorry, but I mean, as a mom, leaving your 9-year-old, white, black, or purple, that's a big deal to leave them with strangers in today's environment.
Yeah.
So, good job. Yeah. Wow, I'm impressed. So, continue the story.
Well, yeah, I mean, she began to help me draw up a business plan and stuff like that. And we took the idea to community church, to a guy named Don White. And he really liked the story and the mission. And then he introduced us to Bob Baggett. Okay. And shared the story with him, and gave him the business plan, and he liked it. And he cut a check for $10,000 for startup costs. And he said that we need to become a 501c3 and a bunch of other stuff. I had no idea what a 501c3 was at the time.
Don't feel bad. A lot of people don't understand that you've got to register to be a nonprofit. Yes. There's too many IRS numbers for most folks to keep track of.
Yeah, but I mean, I walked out of that meeting. She's in tears. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. You're going to be the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who's going to help me.
You're the exact opposite, right?
And so I asked her to be my partner, and she accepted, and she got all of that administrative work like she requested. And her stepmom was a retired teacher, so they stepped in, worked together to draw up our academic curriculum. Cathy created our first website, filed all of our paperwork.
So let's go back to your mission, though, because although you've talked about you had a vision,
right,
you haven't told us what that vision is. And really, what about if people have not heard of Crossover Mission? What's your goals?
So the vision is to be honest and share my testimony about my mistakes and my shortcomings, and also realizing that I wrongfully placed athletics ahead of academics, and I needed to reverse those roles. And then I was very blessed to have met a high school teacher my senior year that really took me under her wings. And for the first time I connected with, or the teacher was able to connect with me. And so I just kind of took the things that she did for me, was the one-on-one academic support, giving me individual attention, support. She always talked about support, guidance, and structure. And those are the three things that I just kind of took from her and my experience with her. And I've realized that kids in our community needed the same thing in order to be successful. So
in any community.
Yeah.
So that is just, my heart's going pitter-patter. This is an awesome story. I've never heard you tell it. I think I met you when you guys were first starting. You had the vision, and you had that look of terror on your face. It's gone now. And Cathy was your cheerleader. I do remember some pieces of it. But we're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back, and we'll talk about the here today and future tomorrow. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs in all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Bollywood. We specialize in fire pits, outdoor rugs, umbrellas, and replacement cushions. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in the Publix Plaza, Vero Beach. Family owned and operated since 1991. Don't forget to visit our outlet store directly across the street, filled with lots of name brand closeouts and sale items. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Have a sunshine day. Sunshine.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining us, this is the radio show that brings people in every week to talk about things that are going on in our lovely community. Sometimes it's a for-profit, sometimes it's not for-profit, sometimes it's an individual who can't figure out what they're going to do with their life, but they're doing a heck of a job at the moment. And so I'm delighted that this week we have folks in from Crossover Mission. We've been talking about how it started, and it started a lot longer than I recognized, because the children that got you guys together and created this wonderful project, although it's far more than that now, were only 7 at the time, and they're now in their young 20s. So you guys have been doing this a while. So how many kids do you have now coming in on a regular basis?
105.
105? That's phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah, that's core kids. We also have alumni who some are in college and some are in the workforce who are still active with us.
So I've been talking as if you have one program, but clearly over the years you developed multiple offshoots of your original intent, which was to put academics ahead of athletics, but to use them both, if I'm paraphrasing correctly, to keep the kids engaged and on the right track to adulthood. Fair?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So what kinds of things did you learn along the way? What was the first thing that kind of got you off of come and do your homework and then you get to play basketball? Cathy?
Well, let's see. So our oldest kids in the beginning were in middle school, and as they aged and got into high school, we realized that we need to think about the next phase. So
Would that be girls? Oh, I'm
Girls as
sorry.
well.
Girls were also in
We
the
had
middle
girls-
school stuff.
Yes, girls
Okay.
and boys.
Sorry.
So 20% of our population's girls.
Good.
Still. But moving into high school, there's different needs, there's different interest level, and certainly college and career. So the first thing is graduating from high school, so we're making sure the kids are on track. But the college and career piece is a big one. It starts for us in 8th grade, and the kids are on a track for whatever their interest is. So they want to make sure to be in the right classes if they're going toward college. If they're looking toward college sports, then we're looking into training and NCAA. And
So I can see where Antoine would be a big supporter of that. How, though, do you handle the counseling piece for 8th graders? I mean, did you recruit volunteer teachers or counselors, or, how did that all, I mean, it's a beautiful vision, but how did you actually do it?
we actually we had someone who came on volunteer for the pilot of that.
Okay.
And she was amazing. She set up the structure of it, and now we have a full-time person who is our college and career counselor.
Wow.
Full-time. She's
Lucky
working with all
kids.
those kids. Yep.
Yeah, because it's been a while, but my understanding of current high school programming is that there's just not enough time in the day, and there's way too many kids to get individualized attention relative to your own career needs. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one of the other biggest things is that we learned is that nothing happens without the relationships. You have to have really in-depth relationships. The kids have to believe in you. They have to trust you. They have to know that you're going to be there. And then the program itself, it has to extend beyond academics and athletics. It has to be compelling enough, exciting enough, so that they want to be there. If they don't want to be there and they're distracted by other things, then all bets are off. So we have enrichment activities and field trips and basketball camps at like the major Division I schools that we attend. They have to earn their right to go there by attitude, athletics, and academics. And so they have to compete to earn those spots.
A lot of carrots.
So those are the nuggets that things that we kind of off branches that we have, so to speak.
So do the kids suggest some of those activities? Is this, again, sort of trial and error, or, is it just as opportunity presents, you two put your heads together with others and say, that'd be a cool thing for us to do? What do you guys think?
All of the above.
Yeah. We've gone down some rabbit holes, but we do have a core program.
Okay.
And the core program is basketball and athletic training. It's academic mentoring. We have a very defined summer program, and we have competitive travel ball. So kind of the four main key components to that. Within those, you have various other in-depth, like we have the girls program, which is the Transcendence Academy, and the college and career. Elite training is another one.
You have a lot of programs.
We do.
So since we're coming up to summer, 3 blinks and we'll be here, tell us a little bit more about your summer program, and will you have openings, and, again, what are the age ranges? We may have some people out there that are hearing this for the first time and saying, ooh, tell me more.
Yeah, we do. Our summer registration is now open. It's only $150 for the summer. And those are all of our, we lean heavily towards our enrichment activities, which is the movies, bowling, fine dining, Division I camps, basketball camp at Interstate College, basketball camp at Vero Beach High School, just to try to get our kids engaged and keep them busy.
So I'm going to interrupt you for a second here before I forget this. $150 for how many weeks in the summer?
I believe it's a 5-week program.
Wow.
6 weeks.
Anything more than 2 sounds like a great deal. And so with the extra activities that you guys do, is that extra then for the parents to pay?
Well, depending on what the activity is, we generally would ask for $5 for the kids if we're
very
taking them on a field
affordable.
trip.
Very affordable. And I'm assuming that that is because you fundraise for that purpose and have supporters. Thank you, philanthropists that are out there. As a working parent, I know how important it is to have your kids enrolled in things, but at the same time, there's that sticker shock of, I'd love to, but. So that's huge, and I really appreciate that. So, wow, it's just, I can't get past that one. So how would people enroll? Have you got a website that sounds like crossovermission.org or something?
.com, believe it or
.com,
not.
okay.
Yes, crossovermission.com.
Okay.
Yes, there is an enrollment on the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
And ages?
Ages
Start at?
are, well, for this summer, we're starting at 10.
Yep.
10, okay.
Wow.
10 through high school, so 10 to 18.
Wow. And I'm going to guess that you kind of segregate according to age because
Yes.
we won't want our little ones with the high schoolers.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's all age specific.
Okay.
Yeah.
And boys and girls.
Boys and girls.
This is amazing. I'm so sorry I didn't know about this years ago.
So we are in year 10. You kind of alluded to how old we
Yeah.
are. We're celebrating our first decade, and we have a new building. So we're very excited to be nearing the completion of the core of the renovation of the building at 4425 US Highway 1. And so we now have 2 basketball courts. We have a beautiful academic center upstairs that overlooks the courts. You should come see us.
I should.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we have a dining hall now, and we're building the locker rooms, and we'll have a north multi-sport training area. And we're really excited to have this space.
I guess so.
40,000 square feet.
So the kids come after school, since you mentioned dining. I know my boys eat and eat and eat. God love them. But none of them are over 6 foot, despite that. But the reality is that you must have a program from after school during the school year until early evening?
Well, our program runs from roughly about 2:15 to 6 o'clock, 6:30,
Okay.
depending on time of pickup. But we pick up from our high school. Our high schools come in first. So there's the 3 high schools, Vero Beach and Sebastian and St. Ed's. St. Ed's provides transportation, so we pick up from the other 2.
Nice.
And so high school comes in first, and then they get acclimated, and they have their snack time, and then they go up and do academics. And by that time, our middle school group is out, and then they come in, and while they're having their snack, our high school trickles down to the basketball court, and then our middle school goes up and starts academics, and then it just continues with high school, middle school, and then our elementary group comes in at the very end.
So changing the class start times at the high schools, that's really going to switch your program around, isn't it? In terms of flow.
Yes.
Wow. But that's why we stay connected and challenged and excited about what we do, right? Because we can overcome those challenges.
Always.
So anything that, before we wrap up, we've got just about a minute left, that you're dying to say that I didn't ask you about?
No, not
Best decision you ever made, right?
Well, I mean,
Okay, I'm not going to put those words in your
is.
mouth.
it was definitely the best decision. I mean, a hard decision. I mean, you fight, your calling and trying to do the thing you want to do. But I know that this was my purpose and my vision. I'm just really grateful for the people that have invested in me and taken the opportunity to support me. And I don't want to go down the name because there's been so many people that have helped us along the way and have helped me along the way. And
you're paying it forward.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing. And you're hoping, both of you, I'm sure, that your kids, your sons, their friends, everyone that's coming through the program can do the same. And with your help, I believe they can. So thank you very much for being here today and telling your story. And if anyone wants to donate for the cause, I presume that's also through crossovermission.com?
yes.
Okay. Thanks again for being here.
It's a pleasure.
And we'll see you all next week, or you'll hear from me next week, 4:30 on Saturday and Sunday. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye-bye now.